Oh, hi. This is YouTube's Your Elevator Guy 9200. And yeah, pretty excited about today, because today I get my 2000th video. And if it wasn't for you guys watching these videos, they would be no elevators by Elevator Guy 9200. So I sincerely thank each and every one of you for watching my videos. So, this is going to be a short story of how I began to like elevators. Well, I've always loved elevators. My whole life, I have absolutely loved elevators. I've been obsessed with elevators my whole life. I can remember when I was 2 years old, riding the elevator at the Marketplace Mall on JCPenney. And over at Dick's. So I thought, what is this? So my mother goes, it's the elevator. So I push a button and this wall opens up. And there's a little room. Excuse me. Then push a button and the doors close. Then when the doors open up, we're in another place. And I thought, that was really cool. I want to do that again. So we went back down. So ever since then, I have absolutely loved elevators. But then about 2008, that came to an end a little bit because I started to get afraid of elevators. After I heard a story, well, it just came to me that, you know what, maybe I should be afraid of elevators for a couple years. And so I would always be nervous when we'd step in an elevator. So I can remember back in August of 2010 when we went down to Uniontown, or in Collinsville right now, we just made it down here. And so my grandmother and I, and my family and I, my sister, my mother, my father, went to the church outdoors. And I can remember parking in the parking garage. They have an old Otis Lexan elevator, which really doesn't work, because I tried filming it back in May, and it didn't come. Yeah. So I can remember asking my grandmother, well, can we take the stairs? And so she was like, of course. And so my sister, my mother, and father walked up the stairs. Went up the elevator, actually, but my grandmother and I walked up the stairs to the second floor where we were parked.
I wasn't afraid of elevators.
Actually, I don't remember where we were parked. My sister must not have been afraid of elevators because she was 5 years old back then. I was 9 years old back then. I didn't even know what elevator photography was up until April of 2012 when I found Diesel Lucy online. But before we parked in that garage with the old Otis Lexan elevator in June of 2010, we went down to Florida. I rode a couple fascinating elevators. I believe one was an Otis Lexan, and one was a Schindler. We rode a 6-story Schindler MT at Star Island Resort in Kissimmee, Florida. I remember that elevator very well. I remember riding it up and down, and every time I'd see a security guard in the elevator, I'd get really scared. I was like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? My parents were like, they're just checking to see if we're safe or not, and they're here to keep us safe. And so that made me feel better. So my dad has a short video of going through the room. I wasn't even into hotel tours back then. So we're talking about going back in this June, though. So I might possibly do another hotel tour. So I rode that Schindler elevator a lot. Every time we'd go to dinner, we'd go down, up. We'd ride all the time. I believe we had an Otis, maybe a Schindler Otis, might have been a Otis modernized by Schindler elevator. I don't know if that's possible or not. Might have been Otis modernized by Schindler at the Shades of Green Resort, and every time we'd go down to the Mangino's restaurant, we'd ride on that elevator. One of my cousin Ron and my cousin Eric and my cousin Alex came to the Shades of Green to meet up with us. And so we rode in the elevator down to Mangino's and had dinner. And I was drawing maps of the United States. And so I always thought that maps were cool back then. But it wasn't up until a couple of years ago where I thought that maps were absolutely fascinating, though. Not for the maps, but this is about my elevator story. So in July of 2011, we went down to Hampton, Virginia, my first trip to the Hamptons. So we were at the Nauticus Museum, right by a statue of the goddess Neptune. Or right next to the statue of the goddess Neptune lays an elevator. I don't know what kind it was. It might have been a Schindler RT or something like that. Or it might have been... The Nauticus is a newer museum, so probably had a newer elevator like a Schindler HT or something like that. I don't remember what it was because I wasn't in the elevators back then. Wasn't in the elevators as much as I am now. But fast forward to April of 2012. I was watching Saab Kyle 04 on YouTube, aka Kyle Lindsay. Okay, I have enough space left. I'm gonna have to stop the video here in a little bit. And so I was watching Saab Kyle 04, and I came across this video called I Got Stuck in the Elevator Last Night, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that. It's by Diesel Lucy, aka Andrew Reams. So I watched it, and I was like, that's funny, I wouldn't watch that video again. So I kept watching it and watching it. Then I came across an elevator video called I Got Stuck in the Elevator Epic Fail. So I watched that video, and I thought both the videos were hilarious. He took them down, by the way. I missed them, by the way. Because those are the elevator videos, those are the videos that inspired me to film elevators. I discovered some more elevator videos. And so I was like, wow, he has a lot of elevator videos. I wonder who this guy is. And so I found his channel name. I was like, Diesel Ducey? It's kind of a funny name. And so I found out that Diesel Ducey was actually his train engine. And then I eventually found out his name was Andrew Reams. And so fast forward to August of 2013. I finally got to go to Roanoke, where Diesel Ducey lives. And we filmed the Market Parking Garage. Excuse me, we filmed the Market Parking Garage elevator. We didn't get the Elmwood Garage, but I'll be sure to get the Elmwood Garage next time we're there. We tried to get the Church Avenue Garage, but it said no trespassing. We got the Gainsborough Garage, the Market Square walkway. We got center of the square. We got pretty much all the famous elevators in Roanoke. Tanglewood Mall. I even got the glass elevator at the Valley View Mall. We rode a couple of elevators at the Valley View Mall, but due to privacy reasons, I didn't film. I still have good memories of riding them, though. So that's basically how Tours by Elevator Guy 9200 started. Flashback to July of 2012. We were out in Utah, so I forgot all about my elevator filming hobby, pretty much. But the first elevator video I ever filmed was at the Strong National Museum of Play. My dad took me and my sister to the Strong National Museum of Play, like we did every Friday back then. I brought my iPod along. It was May 4th, 2012, the day before Cinco de Mayo. So I figured, wait a minute, I just stumbled into this new hobby. I'm going to film the elevator for myself. So that's what I did. Now fast forward to back to July of 2012. We were out in Utah. I didn't even bother about my new hobby, filming elevators. But I did bother about hotel tours, though, because I did a full tour of my Uncle Jim's house out in Tooele, Utah. But coming back, we stumbled into some elevators. One in... Can't remember the name of the town. You'll see it on my channel. It was near Lincoln, Nebraska. About 40 minutes outside of Omaha. I was like, wait a minute. I just stumbled into this new hobby. And maybe I should film the elevator for myself. And so I tried to figure out what kind of elevator that was for a while. I was like, this is a ThyssenKrupp. No, it's Dover. I didn't know. And I eventually found out it was a Montgomery. So I filmed the elevator. And so we went back to the off at Air Force Base. I did a hotel tour there. So we stopped at the Iowa 80 truck stop, and for the third time, I told myself, I just stumbled into this new hobby. And so I can't get away with filming another elevator. And so that's what I did. I filmed the Kone. I filmed the Kone elevator. Fast forward to the evening of July 11th, 2012. We were actually driving back from the Iowa 80. And so we sailed on the Waukegan Navy base in Waukegan, Illinois. I mentioned it's North Chicago, I'm sorry. So for the fourth time, I told myself, I just stumbled into this new hobby. I should film the elevator. So that's what I did. So we went to the Willis Tower the next day. And for the last time, I told myself, I just have this stumble into a new hobby. So I can't get away with filming this interesting elevator that serves 103 floors. So I filmed the elevator, the Schindler elevator at the Willis Tower. It only serves floors LL2, LL1, LL2, LL3. Either one of those three. 99 and 103. But getting close to this, to where we're going to call it an end. Getting close to the video where we're going to have to say bye. But that's basically how Elevators by Elevator Guy 9200 started. But also, I want to say big thanks to God, because without Him, nothing is possible. And Jesus Christ, our Savior, because without Him, nothing is possible. Without Jesus Christ, nothing is possible either. Also, I also want to give a big thanks to my special family. My mother, my sister, who's right there. You might be able to see her right in that part. If you look to the left of me, you might see a black head right there. That's her. And my mother and father, as well as my wonderful grandparents. As well as my cousin Bethany, my Aunt Laurie, and my Uncle Tom. That's who I want to thank. So, alright. That's basically how Elevators by Elevator Guy 9200 started. So, alright. That's it. Also, if there weren't people behind that lens, I would have no reason to make 2,000 videos. So, alright. That's it.